God says breathe. Just breathe for a moment, and let the air that fills your lungs remind you that you are alive because of love. Each breath is a quiet whisper of God saying, I am here. You may not always see it, you may not always feel it, but every inhale carries His presence, and every exhale releases your burdens into His peace. You are surrounded by love that does not falter, by a light that never fades, by a presence that has never left you, not even for a heartbeat. Sometimes life feels like a storm you didn't see coming. The winds of fear and worry blow so hard that you forget to breathe, and your heart feels too heavy to carry. But right now, as you read this, heaven leans close and reminds you gently, God's love is wrapping around you, stronger than the storm, softer than the pain, wider than the distance that's grown between you and hope. You don't have to fight so hard to find Him, He's already here. You may have thought that love left you when people walked away, when dreams collapsed, when prayers went unanswered. But that was only the surface. Beneath it all, deeper than every disappointment, God's love has been holding your soul together. His love is not a feeling that comes and goes. It is the air that keeps your spirit alive, the unseen strength that has carried you through days you thought would break you. Right now, breathe again. Feel the calm that enters when you realize you're not alone. You've been fighting battles in silence, holding back tears, pretending you're fine when your heart feels like it's drowning. God saw that moment you thought no one noticed, the night you couldn't sleep, the morning you didn't want to rise, the times you felt forgotten by the world. He saw, and He stayed. His love never turned away from your brokenness. It leaned closer. When you doubt yourself, God whispers, "You are mine." When you think you've failed too much, He says, "I still choose you." When the world tells you that you are not enough, His voice breaks through the noise and reminds you that He made you exactly as you were meant to be, not perfect, but precious. You may not feel holy or strong or worthy right now. That's okay. Love is not waiting for your perfection. Love is meeting you in your exhaustion. God's love isn't earned, it's breathed. It's in the air around you, in the stillness after the storm, in the silence that feels empty but is actually filled with His waiting presence. Think back for a moment. Remember the times you thought you wouldn't survive, yet somehow, you did. That wasn't luck. That was grace. That was love standing in the gap when your strength ran out. That was God carrying you through the fire without letting the flames consume you. You may have scars, but those scars are proof that love never gave up on you. Maybe you've been trying to fix yourself, to make sense of why things went wrong, to earn peace through effort. But God doesn't ask you to strive. He asks you to breathe. To rest in the truth that He already loves you more deeply than you can comprehend. You don't have to climb a mountain to reach Him. You only need to open your heart and breathe Him in. There is a sacred rhythm in every heartbeat, the pulse of creation itself, the steady reminder that you are part of something eternal. Every breath you take is a small resurrection, a quiet proof that life continues, that love wins, that grace endures. When you forget who you are, listen to your breath. It is saying, you are loved. You are held. You are not alone. In this very moment, God's love is all around you, in the sunlight streaming through your window, in the laughter of someone who cares for you, in the simple act of reading these words. The universe itself is singing of His kindness. The stars burn with the same light that He placed within your soul. Even the wind that moves through the trees is a hymn of love, wrapping itself around you like invisible arms. You have spent too long believing that love is somewhere else, in a future you haven't reached, in someone who understands you perfectly, in a moment when everything finally feels right. But God's love is not waiting there. It's here, right now, in this imperfect moment, in your unfinished story. It doesn't need you to be ready, it only asks that you be open. You may say, "But I've made too many mistakes." God answers, "My love covers them all." You may whisper, "I'm too far gone." He replies, "I'm already where you are." You may cry, "I don't deserve this love." And He smiles softly, "That's what makes it grace." Sometimes His love won't come as thunder or miracles. Sometimes it comes as stillness. Sometimes it's in the peace that doesn't make sense, in the strength that comes out of nowhere, in the small moments of beauty that remind you life is still worth living. His love is quiet but unshakable, invisible but undeniable. When you feel you've lost your direction, His love becomes your compass. When you are tired, His love becomes your rest. When you feel broken, His love becomes the glue that holds your soul together. You may not see how everything will unfold, but love already does. God is working in the unseen, turning your pain into purpose, your tears into testimony, your waiting into wonder. The world will try to convince you that love must be earned, through beauty, success, approval. But the truth is this: God's love existed before you did anything to deserve it and will remain long after you make your last mistake. You cannot lose what you did not earn. You can only forget it, and then remember again, in moments like this. Let go of the guilt that weighs you down. Breathe in forgiveness. God has already released you from your past. What you call shame, He calls story. What you call failure, He calls foundation. What you call ending, He calls beginning. Every piece of your life, even the shattered parts, is being rewritten in love. You don't need to run anymore. You don't need to hide from your own heart. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. Just breathe, and let God remind you that you were created not to strive, but to be loved. The air you breathe is a living symbol of that love, unseen, yet essential, silent, yet sustaining. If your heart feels heavy, place your hand over it. Feel it beating. That's God saying, "I am still with you." Even in your doubt, your fear, your weakness, His presence is constant. He has walked beside you in every dark valley, waited with you in every season of silence, and rejoiced quietly every time you chose to keep going. You've carried pain that few understand. But love understands. God's heart breaks when yours does, and His hands are the ones that lift you when you cannot stand on your own. He is not distant. He is not disappointed. He is near, closer than your breath. In every tear you've cried, there was a message from heaven: you are loved beyond measure. Even when life feels unfair, when prayers seem unanswered, when your faith trembles, God's love doesn't shrink. It grows. It deepens. It waits patiently for you to return, not in shame, but in trust. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself surrounded by light, warm, soft, unending. That light is God's love, and it's not imagination. It's reality. You are breathing it in right now. It fills the room you're in. It fills the spaces inside you that felt empty. It fills every broken place, until peace begins to bloom again. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to control what comes next. You only need to breathe, because in that breath, love is alive. Every exhale releases your fear, every inhale welcomes grace. This is how healing begins, one holy breath at a time. Maybe you've prayed for a sign. Maybe this message is it. Maybe God wanted you to pause long enough to hear Him whisper, "You are surrounded by my love." You don't have to be afraid. Love is not far away. It's here, now, closer than the next breath you take. Let yourself rest in that truth. Let the world fall away for a moment. Just breathe, and know that you are being held by the one who created you, who sees you, who never stopped loving you. And as you rise from this moment, carry that peace with you. Walk through your day knowing that the air around you is sacred. Every step is guided, every breath is blessed, every heartbeat is a love note from God saying, "I am with you always." Even when you forget, love will not forget you. Even when you wander, love will find you. Even when you fall, love will lift you. Because this love, God's love, is surrounding you now, and it will never let you go. Breathe, beloved. You are home. Breathe again, slowly this time. Feel how the air moves through you, gentle and alive, like a secret conversation between your soul and the Creator. Each breath carries light, each pause between breaths is a small eternity where heaven leans closer. You are not just breathing air, you are breathing grace. You are inhaling the very love that formed the stars, the same love that shaped the mountains and whispered your name before time began. God's love has always been the rhythm of your being. Even when you forgot Him, He never forgot you. Even when you walked away, He followed quietly, never demanding, never forcing, only waiting, waiting for the moment when you would pause long enough to notice His presence again. Right now, that moment is here. His love surrounds you like the dawn spreading its first light across a sleeping world. You don't need to rush. The world moves fast, but love moves slowly and deeply. God's presence is not in the noise or the urgency. It is in the stillness that asks for nothing but your awareness. Feel the peace that comes when you stop striving, when you realize you don't have to earn what has already been freely given. You are surrounded by divine mercy, by an unshakable kindness that never gives up. Every part of you, the parts you celebrate, the parts you hide, the parts you wish could disappear, all of them are seen and known by God. And still, His love remains. There is no darkness in you too deep for His light to touch. There is no wound too old for His hands to heal. You are not broken beyond repair, you are becoming something more whole than you have ever been. Remember the times you doubted whether love was real? Remember when you felt abandoned, when silence felt like an answer? Even then, God was there, not punishing your doubt but holding it with compassion. He knows what it means to be human, to hurt, to long, to wait. His love doesn't demand perfection, it simply asks for trust, the quiet kind, the kind that whispers, even when I can't see it, I know you're here. Breathe again. With every breath, imagine that you are letting go of the weight that has pressed on your heart, the worry, the regret, the self-blame, the fear of tomorrow. Let it all drift away with your exhale. Now, with your inhale, receive love, not as an idea, but as a presence. Feel it. The warmth in your chest, the calm that begins to unfold in your thoughts, that's him. That's love becoming real inside you. You are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece still in progress, painted stroke by stroke with divine intention. There were times you thought your story was over, but it was only a new chapter beginning. Every closed door was protection. Every unanswered prayer was preparation. Every heartbreak carved space for more love to enter. If you could see what God sees when He looks at you, you would never doubt your worth again. He doesn't see your failures, He sees your potential. He doesn't see your shame, He sees your story being redeemed. The same God who breathes galaxies into existence breathes love into your soul right now, surrounding you with comfort that asks for nothing except your openness. You may think that you are too small for His attention, but the truth is, you are His favorite work of art. The way you care, the way you love, the way you rise after falling, these are the reflections of His heart inside you. You carry the fingerprints of eternity. Every breath is proof that heaven has not given up on you. Let the quiet speak. In the silence, you'll hear it, that gentle voice saying, I've got you. You're safe. You're loved. You may have cried alone, but not one tear fell unnoticed. You may have walked through shadows, but every step was counted. God's love has been your unseen shelter all along. It's time to stop fighting the current. Let His love carry you. Let it be enough. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to fix every broken thing. Love already knows the way. Trust the process, even when you can't see the path. You are exactly where you need to be to grow into the person God has been shaping you to become. Look at your hands. They've done so much, carried so much, given so much. God is proud of you, not for what you've achieved, but for how you've endured, how you've kept faith when it was hard. You are not unseen. Heaven celebrates every small victory you've made in silence. When you breathe again, imagine that every cell in your body is being filled with divine light. This is more than imagination, it's alignment. You are aligning with the truth that love is your natural state. You were born from it, sustained by it, and destined to return to it. You are surrounded by invisible arms, God's embrace in spirit form. If you close your eyes, you might even feel it, a warmth, a comfort, a sense of being completely accepted. That is the holy presence that has always been here, waiting for you to notice. Sometimes love comes in waves of emotion, sometimes it's just peace, quiet, steady, deep. Don't look for fireworks, look for the calm that makes no sense. That is divine love doing its quiet work. Stay in this awareness a little longer. Breathe. You are safe. You are held. You are enough. The same love that began your story will finish it beautifully. Nothing can separate you from it, not time, not failure, not fear. God's love surrounds you now and always. And as you go forward, remember this: every breath you take is a prayer, every heartbeat a promise, every moment an invitation to return again and again to the truth that love is here, and it has never left. Close your eyes again. Feel how quiet the world becomes when you stop trying to control it. Feel how even silence has a pulse when you begin to notice love in it. This is not emptiness, this is presence. The same God who shaped the mountains and the oceans is sitting here with you now, not demanding anything, only offering himself. His love is not a distant theory, it's the invisible strength that's been keeping you alive when you didn't think you could go on. Every breath is still a miracle. You've taken millions of them since you were born, and not once did you have to remind your lungs how to move. That's how love works too, constant, sustaining, often unnoticed, but always there. Every time you breathe, God whispers, "See, I am still giving you life." His love is the rhythm that moves through everything, through wind, through laughter, through tears, through every heartbeat that keeps you going when you think you can't. You may look around and see chaos, uncertainty, brokenness. But love is still here. Love does not disappear because of pain, it becomes the light that helps you find your way through it. God doesn't remove every storm, but He stands inside it with you, turning fear into courage and despair into deeper faith. Take a slow breath. Let it remind you that every moment is a new beginning. Yesterday's weight does not belong in today's air. Release it. Let love breathe new strength into you. God is not in your past mistakes, He is in your next step. The things that tried to destroy you will one day become the reason someone else finds hope. That's how love works, it turns wounds into wisdom. You may not see the full picture yet, but God does. He's been painting it all along, the moments of laughter, the nights of tears, the waiting, the wondering, the surrender. All of it matters. Every season has been preparing you for this awareness, this peace, this understanding that you are surrounded by something infinite and gentle. Maybe your heart has been whispering questions, will things ever get better? Will I ever be at peace? Does anyone really see me? And God answers softly, yes, I see you. Yes, I am working things together for good. Yes, my love will bring you home again, Even when your faith feels small, it's enough. God doesn't measure you by your confidence but by your courage to keep showing up. Even a trembling heart is a doorway for love to enter. You don't have to have perfect faith, you just have to be willing to breathe. If you could see how heaven looks at you, your fears would fade. There are angels surrounding you even now, whispering comfort, guiding your steps, holding space for your healing. The air around you is alive with unseen grace. You are never alone, even when loneliness feels overwhelming. Remember the moments you laughed without reason, when joy bubbled up from nowhere? That was love reminding you that light still lives inside you. Remember the stranger who smiled at you when you needed it most? That was love wearing a human face. Remember how the sunrise felt after a night that seemed endless? That was love returning, just as it always does. God's love will never run out. You can't use it up, and you can't chase it away. It is as constant as the air, as deep as the sea, as enduring as eternity. The more you open yourself to it, the more you will find that everything you need is already within you: peace, forgiveness, strength, hope. Breathe again. Let this breath remind you that you are a temple of divine life. God's Spirit lives within you, not as a visitor, but as home. You are sacred ground, chosen and cherished. Nothing you've been through can erase that truth. Sometimes you will forget. Sometimes fear will rise again. That's okay. When it does, come back to this simple act: breathing. Each breath is a prayer, each exhale a release, each inhale a returning to love. You don't need to know what tomorrow holds. You just need to know who holds you. You may have walked through seasons of loneliness, heartbreak, confusion, or waiting. But none of it was wasted. Every moment was preparing you to feel the depth of God's love in this one. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on time for grace. Think of all the mornings you've survived, the nights you've made it through, the tears that didn't drown you. Each one is a testimony that love never left. You've been carried through storms you didn't even realize you could survive. That strength wasn't just yours, it was love inside you refusing to let go. You are loved in your confusion. You are loved in your searching. You are loved in your healing. You are loved in your becoming. Nothing about you is a surprise to God. He knows your weaknesses, your fears, your regrets, and He still chooses you. Always. Let that truth sink in: you are chosen. You are wanted. You are enough. The same love that holds the stars in place holds you even when you fall apart. Let this be your prayer today, even if it's silent. Thank you, God, for being the air I breathe, for being the calm within my chaos, for surrounding me even when I forget to notice you. Teach me to rest in your love, to trust in your timing, to live every breath as a reminder that you are here. Now take one last deep breath. Feel it move through your chest, down to your heart, across your spirit. That is love, not an idea, not a hope, but a living presence surrounding you, sustaining you, loving you completely. Go into your day with this truth anchored in your soul: you are never separate from God's love. Wherever you go, it goes. Whatever happens, it remains. Breathe, and know, love is here, now, always. Breathe one more time, slowly and gently. Feel how every breath connects you to the rhythm of something eternal. You've reached this moment, not by accident, not by coincidence, but by divine guidance. There's a reason you are here, reading these words, right now. God has been leading you gently, step by step, through every detour and delay, every joy and every sorrow, to this exact breath, because this is the moment He wants you to know just how loved you truly are. All your life, He has been whispering, "I am here." When you cried, He was the comfort that held your heart. When you celebrated, He was the joy that filled your laughter. When you failed, He was the grace that lifted you again. When you doubted, He was the patience that waited for you to return. You have never been outside His love, not for one heartbeat, not for one breath. There is a sacred truth that your soul already knows but your mind sometimes forgets: God's love is not around you like a wall, it's within you like a flame. You carry His light inside you. You don't have to reach for it, you only need to remember it. That's what this message is, a gentle reminder that you are made of divine love. The same love that began creation is breathing through you now. Every inhale draws that holy presence deeper into your being, every exhale releases the fear that says you are alone. You are not alone. You are never alone. All of heaven surrounds you. The air, the light, the stillness, they all hold the fingerprints of your Creator. Even when you wander far from peace, love never stops calling your name. God doesn't shout, He whispers. He doesn't push, He waits. He doesn't condemn, He restores. That's who He is, the one who chooses mercy over judgment, compassion over distance, forgiveness over forgetting. You are not the same person you were yesterday. Love has been working quietly inside you, healing what needed healing, softening what needed grace, and strengthening what needed courage. Even when you couldn't see the change, heaven saw it. Every tear watered a seed that is now beginning to grow, the seed of faith, of hope, of peace. You may still feel uncertain about the future, but love already stands there waiting for you. The road ahead may twist and turn, but you will never walk it alone. The same God who surrounded you in this moment will go before you, preparing peace where you expect chaos and miracles where you expect endings. Breathe again. Feel how calm the air feels in your lungs. That's God telling you, you are safe with me. You don't have to rush anymore. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to fear what comes next. Love has already made a way. Look around, the light in the room, the stillness between sounds, even the quiet hum of your heart, all of it is sacred. You live in a world overflowing with signs of divine affection. The sunrise is a promise that darkness doesn't last. The ocean is a reminder of how deep His mercy runs. The stars are the silent witnesses of His eternal care. You are a part of that beauty. You are not separate from creation, you are one with its heartbeat. God did not create you to live in fear or self-doubt, but to remember who you are, His beloved. There is no greater identity, no deeper truth, no higher calling than to live in the awareness of that love. Take this moment to forgive yourself for the times you forgot. Forgive yourself for the days you tried to carry everything alone. Forgive yourself for thinking you had to earn what was already yours. Grace means it's okay to begin again, as many times as you need to. Every breath is a new beginning. When you wake tomorrow, remember this feeling. Before you reach for your phone, before you think of yesterday's worries or tomorrow's plans, breathe. Whisper softly, God's love is surrounding me now. Let that truth set the tone for your day. Walk in it, speak it, share it. Because when you live aware of love, you become love. Let your kindness be your testimony. Let your peace be your prayer. Let your life reflect the light that has never stopped shining inside you. There will be moments of doubt, but even then, love will rise again. There will be nights of sorrow, but dawn will always follow. There will be endings, but love will always begin again. No storm can destroy what was built by God. No darkness can extinguish the light that lives in you. You have survived everything that was meant to break you, not by luck, but by love. And that same love will lead you forward, stronger and gentler than ever before. As you sit in this final moment, feel peace wrap around you like warm air. Let it fill every corner of your being. Let it silence every fear, every doubt, every thought that says you are not enough. You are enough because God's love lives in you. You are surrounded, held, protected, and guided by an infinite compassion that will never fade. Breathe one last time. Feel the calm. Feel the warmth. Feel the stillness. This is God's presence, quiet, constant, eternal. Wherever you go, this presence goes with you. Whatever you face, this love will sustain you. Whatever happens next, you can rest in this truth: you are loved, you are safe, and you are never alone. Now go forward gently, with peace in your heart and light in your spirit. Carry this awareness into every moment. Breathe it into your words, your choices, your days. And when the world feels heavy again, pause, breathe, and remember. Love is not something you have to find. Love is already here. You are surrounded by it. You are filled with it. You are made of it. And it will never,